You roll up your sleeve, a stranger in scrubs tapes a needle to your arm, and 10 minutes later, you're eating a cookie and forgetting the whole thing happened. But somewhere in a fridge, a small bag of your blood is just getting started on a journey that takes days, sometimes weeks, before it ends up inside someone else's body. So, what actually happens to it in between? It starts before the needle even goes in. You answer a health questionnaire and get a quick physical, pulse, blood pressure, an iron check. This isn't just for your safety, it's also the first filter that keeps unsafe blood out of the system entirely. Once you're cleared, the donation happens. About a pint of blood, plus a few small test tubes drawn at the same time. Here's the detail that matters most. Your blood bag and your test tubes get the exact same barcode label. From this second on, every result, every step, every decision gets tied back to that one code. Then the path splits. Your blood bag gets packed on ice and shipped to a processing center. Your test tubes go separately to a testing lab. Both happen in parallel on the same day. At the lab, your sample goes through about a dozen tests, figuring out your exact blood type and screening for infectious diseases like HIV, hepatitis B and C, syphilis, and a few others. Results usually come back within 24 hours. If anything is positive, your donation gets pulled and quietly destroyed, and you get notified privately. Meanwhile, at the processing center, your blood bag gets spun in a centrifuge at high speed. Whole blood isn't one single thing. It's a mix of red cells, plasma, and platelets, each with a different density. Spinning it fast makes them separate into layers, the same way oil and vinegar settle apart if you stop shaking the bottle. That's the whole trick. No chemicals, just physics sorting your blood into its parts. This is also why people say one donation can help up to 3 patients. Your blood was never just one product. A burn patient might get your plasma, a surgery patient might get your red cells, a cancer patient might get your platelets, all from the same pint. Once your lab results come back clean, those separated components get matched to your barcode, labeled, and stored, but not the same way. Red cells go in a refrigerator and last about 6 weeks. Platelets sit at room temperature, constantly gently shaken, but only last about 5 days. Plasma gets frozen solid and can last up to a year. 3 different products, 3 different shelf lives, 3 different fates. From there, they wait in storage until a hospital somewhere requests a unit. Could be hours later, could be weeks later. And it gets transported to that hospital's own blood bank and sits ready on a shelf. But here's the part most people don't expect. Even after all of that, your blood still doesn't go straight into a patient. When a doctor decides someone needs a transfusion, the hospital draws a fresh sample from that patient and runs one last check, mixing a bit of the patient's blood with a bit of your red cells in a tube, then watching closely to see if they clump together or react badly. This is called a cross-match, and it's the final safety check. Independent of everything done back at the lab, days or weeks earlier. It exists because mismatched blood can trigger a dangerous, sometimes fatal reaction. So nobody skips this step, no matter how many tests already passed. Only once that cross-match comes back clean does your blood actually get released, sometimes within hours of the patient's emergency starting. So, next time you're handed a juice box after donating, remember, that small bag of yours gets tested, split into pieces, sorted by physics, stored under 3 different conditions, and double-checked one more time at the very last second. Also, it lands, safely and precisely, in exactly the one body that needs it.